Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod. Will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right in the beginning.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his Lance on third down. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Lance on the move to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Second down, here's Davis Price. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Lance and company going on 4th down. He'll buy some time right. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out, and the Lions will take over. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the 49ers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Gets it out wide to Davis Price. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Lance looking to throw it. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Lance now on 1st down. Taking a shot for Samuel. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And now off to the races down the right side. 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the 1st half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Got a man, that's Ayuk. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 65 yards. And the 49ers get a bit closer. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Goff. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Lance. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. I love plays like that. A defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team, always wanted to be the tailback carrying the ball, trying his best to lug that bad boy.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Well, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, 67 yards. And the Niners have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing across my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw caught by Gray. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll run with Davis Price. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? To throw, it's Lance. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
Sliding out of the pocket. And this one too low.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Goff now to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Brought down at the 20. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
114 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Goff.
Throws out left. It's caught by Williams.
Touchdown!
Jamison Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
And Lance going to throw.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Flush to his right. And now here is another interception. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception. And I just had to double-check my math, but it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now a play fake. Lance.
They'll roll him out right. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now Lance.
And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
120 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Goff. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got this, complete to Williams.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Back to the running game with Swift.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets up.
And what in the world? Now they're going to fake it. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him.
From midfield, here's Lance.
Man open, that's Ray McCloud. Room here to run. Touchdown, 49ers. Ray McCloud, 50 yards.
And the Niners have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Lance going to try to throw for this.
Rolling to his right, and that is incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the left.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And Lance now to throw.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety off.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the 49ers strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Play action. It's Goff.
Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Goff. Rolling to his left. And this is caught by Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Goff, a handoff here to Swift.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding it when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the 49ers, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Detroit, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week